Good morning from the last of 4 islands of our TransBaleares trip. Welcome to Menorca. We've just come rolling off that boat. It's one of the last Balearic ferries we'll be taking, and it's time to cycle this island. So B, why don't you take us through some of the stats of the route?
Okay, so Menorca is the second biggest island here in the Balearic Islands, and we're going to be following a path that's called Camino de Cavalls. It's actually meant for trekking or hardcore mountain biking, but we're going to bring our stuff with us. We're going to see how that works. And in the contrary to Mallorca, we're going to be mostly off-road. We're going to be at least 2/3 on unpaved terrain, of which 1/3 of that is going to be single track. And it's going to be a small loop. It's going to be about 170 kilometers, and we're going to only climb 1800 meters. So let's see.
It's going to be an easy one, I think, unless the terrain proves to be very, very difficult, which secretly we kind of expect. And the weather seems to be more on our side on this trip than on the last. Still feeling the chills of Mallorca. So it's time to take the jackets off. Give a big old thanks to Komoot for supporting the making of this TransBaleares route. You can find the collections below. Of course, you can subscribe for more videos like these. But without further ado, it's time to cycle. So let's go.
So we've done just a couple kilometers, and one of my biggest fears for this route has already come true, because Menorca has a lot of private property, like ridiculous, also over the paths. So we took a suggestion I found online on how to get to Camino de Cavalls, and we've already been kicked out. So we're just gonna have to loop a little bit and follow some roads and see if we can enter through another way. So I think this route is just gonna have a lot of fences, a lot of private property, and people that are not willing to give right of way, even though they should.
I think right here would be a good spot. Yes. Nice. Okay. Yes. There's very little trails I know that go by something this beautiful.
It's insane.
Don't you want to swim already?
Yes, I do want to swim. Maybe we should try the water.
Okay, let's see if this is cold or not. Ooh. Yeah, it has to be maybe 5-10 degrees warmer here. It's pretty freezing. But it's so beautiful. It's like paradise. Wow.
I'm like half sweating and half skating the island.
Yeah. longer than expected. Whoa. Okay.
Oh, this is treacherous.
Yeah. To get down to Akala, there's always some kind of challenge. Well, it's kind of good to know that if you do this alone with a heavy bike, you're pretty screwed. It's so messed up that someone owns some land and like blocks other. Alright, I folded it inside. So you want pasta and tomato frito tonight?
I think it's a great idea, no?
Yeah, I agree.
With the aubergine and the onion?
Oh, cookies! There's more cookies,
Yeah.
but those are for tomorrow. I think something exploded. Oh, the salt! The salt was sort of half open.
Oh, okay.
It's all the shaking, huh?
Yeah.
The matchsticks are all over the place.
It's crazy that it opens lids. I've had that also with cream.
Yeah. Cream is much worse than salt, I give you that. Nice.
Yummy.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
So this morning we've come through, what's the name of the town? Well, some beach town. And we just thought it would be worth mentioning that we have consistently failed to mention in every video that it's super low season. It's March right now, and that means that almost nothing is open. Plus we have this weather front that's been very weird. Also already in Mallorca you saw it happening. There's just been bad weather coming in and out, rain, cloudiness, etc. Not making the vibe very optimal. Anyway, we found ourselves a nice empty terrace. We're just making tea.
We're gonna make tea because there's no way to buy a coffee, and also We're making tea with the water that a painter gave to us because there's no way we can fill up our bottles anywhere. There's no one living here.
Yeah.
There's no open supermarkets, no open restaurants. So we found a guy out of his car and he was kind enough to fill some of our bottles. So now we can drink tea, yay.
Yes, and actually it's an advantage to be here by bike in the off season, most likely, because you can go a little bit faster. If you're walking and you need water, this is going to be a really tricky place to be in the off season.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, time for a cup of tea.
Cup of tea.
Cup of tea, my love. Nice, spicy tea. Not talking about myself. These ones are easy.
Do you think that people riding horses open the gate for the horse? Or do they also need to get off the horse?
I don't know. That's a really good question, actually. Doesn't stop. We have just come off that beautiful beach, and as you've seen this morning, we've done a tremendous amount of pushing, much more than cycling.
And the opening gates.
And we've only covered 12 kilometers. What? So we have to have a chat. Decided to sit down and just briefly explain to you what we're gonna do with this route.
Yeah, so Camino de Caballos is really meant to be for hikers, of which most parts are possibly done by mountain bikers. It's okay, the path, but definitely not with the gear that we're carrying. That's quite insane. So this is why we're so slow, because so many paths we cannot cycle up or down. So it is a beautiful route, especially if you have the sun with you. So if you're considering doing Camino de Caballos, do it on your mountain bike. Don't break absolutely anything. Just credit card, sleep inside, eat inside.
Yeah. In the season.
In the high season.
Don't go in low season because you won't find anything.
Yeah.
You'll be stranded sleeping on the beach.
So since we don't have a lot of time left, we're just gonna cut through the island, through the town of Mercadal, and we're just gonna do the first quarter of Camino de Caballos and the last quarter. So police will be able to show you that.
Even our version of it, Camino de Caballos, because
Yeah.
we've already cut a few parts.
Polished.
Yeah. Anyway, I really wonder how many cyclists are sitting behind their screen now thinking, I told you, like I knew this was gonna happen. Gee,
Yeah.
you started off so well. good day.
It was like a roller coaster day.
Yeah. It was.
This place is quite unbeatable.
Nice. Okay, so curry time.
Curry.
Curry time.
I'm warming up my hands.
Yeah. Okay. Later I'm gonna use the spatula.
Wow.
Nice. So are we drying this one?
Yeah.
Seems to be drying by itself already.
Well,
You
your
can leave
side.
it on for a while.
Yeah, my side is not drying. That we get
Or that it's cold for so long.
a couple weeks. It's been quite stable. Requires some skill, huh?
Gets a bit easier here.
Yeah?
Yeah. More streamlined, less rocky.
I would consider hiking.
Yeah. Sure, bringing boots.
Yeah.
Boots and a backpack.
Like the guy we saw. He seems
Yeah.
so chill.
I find it so ridiculous that we have to buy bottled water because there's no water anywhere.
There's nothing anywhere.
The least they could have done is put a fountain or something.
Yeah.
If all those massive mansions here
Had a
can be
fountain, yeah.
connected to a water system, because I would guess they are, then why not some fountains on the Camille? paprika smells really good.
Good. For a moment I was scared.
Wow, what a day.
It's a body breaker.
Yeah.
And tomorrow? We don't know.
Brief intermission here. We're getting ready for breakfast, and you know, we told you about this stasher bag, right? Well, this night a nice little mouse got into the stasher bag, and yeah, I guess enjoyed some of our breakfast. So it's a message to all of you: if you're using this kind of bag, then you don't want to leave it outside the tent. You want to put it inside or in a pannier. Don't leave it outside. It's not good. I guess mice love silicone.
Yeah, I mean we've been storing it in night every night until the week.
Yeah, it is fun.
Nice.
Well, that's it. Have to go.
I'm getting out. The last gate.
Well, we have just rolled into Ciutadella, or Deia, the main city of Menorca, and we have concluded our much cut, improvised, optimized route, whatever you want to call it, of this island. So we are here to make some conclusions, because we've also ended the TransBaleares route.
Yeah, the first conclusion I guess would be that Menorca is a very protected island, so you cannot go on any path that you want, and there's also not many restaurants or accommodations on the way. So yeah, it's very protected, but beautiful because of that. Second point is that if you want to ride on it, then you have two options. One, you're stuck to asphalt and therefore you have to stay in the spinal cord of the island and therefore go in and out into the beaches, or otherwise you're stuck to Camí de Caballos, which is what we did. And I guess it brings to the third conclusion, which is Camino de Caballos. It is a GR 223, which means it's meant to be for hiking. We did it on the bikes because we know that it's possible on mountain bikes, but as we experienced, when you're loaded, it is quite challenging. You have to push the bicycle a lot.
And
It is
we're
still beautiful.
always loaded, so
Yeah.
it's just take it from us. If you're gonna bring a loaded bike here, be warned, it's going to be really, really tough.
Nevertheless, if you know what you're gonna be facing and you have the time, we think it's an island and a track really worth exploring.
Yeah.
Be prepared also with water. There's little points to stock on. Be careful if you come in low season like us, because almost everything is closed, or you're gonna have to find your way into food and water.
Yeah, it's a tricky trail, but it is really beautiful, and it's probably one of the most special trails in all of Europe, considering there's so much wild nature and you can walk the whole thing by the sea. It's very pretty. We highly recommend it. Another thing we highly recommend is Balearia for their ferry connections. As you know, throughout this trip we've used them as our main ferry company to connect the islands, and we will recommend them to do the TransBalearic route that we've designed. So big thanks to them for supporting this route. We are going to take another boat tonight and then one more to the mainland, back to Valencia. And of course, we also want to thank Komoot, because they always support our routes, and this one has been no exception. It's been wonderful to have their support along the way. We love planning routes on their platform, and we think you should totally do the same thing. So you can take a look at the collections down below. There's GPX files in there, our daily routes, the whole optimized thing for the TransBaleares route. Good luck finding what suits you best. Now it's time for us to check out. We are gonna go and sit and have a nice time, look at the sea, board our ferry,
Take a shower
in a nice hotel. We are really crusty, so anyway, it's time to get out of here. We'll see you in the next video, which will no doubt be another wonderful series of bike travel adventures.
Nice.
See you soon. Ciao, ciao.
Done. Hey, high five.